Sandra was not new to hard work. At 29, she had accomplished something that many others had only ever dreamed of, owning her own successful salon in the center of Houston. Women went not just there to look nice, but also for a sense of being noticed, indulged, and rejuvenated. Decorated with elegant gold trim and pale pink walls, there was something of herself in every aspect of the salon, elegant, bold, and unashamedly refined. But beneath the glamorous blowouts and manicured nails, there was another secret that lay hidden, one that flashed too noticeably. Not any jewelry, just sparkling diamonds, antique brooches, pearl-encrusted bracelets. If it sparkled, Sandra had it. It began when she was very young. She would press her face up against store windows, gazing wide-eyed at the glittering display. And as she established her business, her collection expanded along with it. This piece was a reward, a trophy, a confirmation that all her hard work was paying off. But passions turn into obsessions, and Sandra's obsession with jewelry was seeping in on her unnoticed. She'd spend all night browsing auctions, observing bidding battles like they were championship games. She wasn't spending arbitrarily, she was careful, determining how much she could save up in a month in order to purchase that diamond necklace she had found in the city. Her home shelves glittered like a personal museum. Then, one evening, while writing down savings objectives, she felt a dull pain in her right leg. Doubtless nothing, she believed. Simply long hours of being on her feet. But the pain did not subside. It got worse. A week went by, then 2, then 3. Heat packs, ibuprofen, even a massage by her friend, a licensed therapist. Nothing could ease the pain. The sharp, throbbing ache turned walking into penance. Clients started commenting on her limp. Friends started to be concerned. And finally, Sandra made an appointment with Dr. Antonio Robert, a well-regarded orthopedic specialist. She sat in his office and explained it all. She still thought it was something trivial. A sprain, perhaps, overuse, something that a couple of days of downtime couldn't remedy. But Dr. Robert wasn't convinced. He had her undergo a physical examination, then he ordered up an X-ray and an MRI. Just in case, he said with a reassuring smile. The findings were received in a couple of days. Sandra sat in front of Dr. Robert once more. His tone had changed this time. "You've got something in your foot," he informed me. "A relatively ordinary thing. We call it a gold bone. It's a ball-like tumor, something that looks like a pearl." Sandra blinked. "Wait, it's cancerous," he said quietly. "But the positive news is, we've caught it in time. It's still localized. If we move quickly, we can cut it out completely. But if it moves, it could threaten the whole limb." The room seemed to lean on its side. Cancer, tumor, and the terms clashed in her head like waves in a storm. She let her hand go to her ankle, as in defense of it. And in that moment, all of the sparkling necklaces and designer rings in the universe couldn't matter. "I constructed all of this with my hands," she muttered. "My legs, this body." Dr. Robert nodded in agreement. "So, let's do all we can to guard it." Without any hesitation, she declared, "Book the surgery. This is not going to stop me." The pre-surgery days were a blur of nervousness and introspection. Sandra sat in her small apartment, gazing at her jewelry case. The sparkling gems that had filled her with pride now seemed frigid, barren. For all those years, she had pursued beauty in its material aspects, prestige, status, luxury. She had forgotten the subdued delights, laughter with girlfriends, repose without remorse, enjoying the success she actually had, instead of the success she did not have. Her grandmother's voice echoed constantly in her memory. "Don't hope for too much, kid. The burden of it all will weigh you down." She never fully comprehended what that was. Not until now. The surgery was successful. The tumor was taken out cleanly, no evidence of spreading. She did not have to lose her leg, but healing was sluggish, arduous. She had to learn anew how to walk without soreness. Physical therapy weeks tested her endurance. The fiercely independent woman once found herself leaning, both physically and mentally, on those she loved. Something within her had changed. For the first time in years, Sandra ceased pursuing sparkle. She began searching for peace. Once she was able to comfortably walk, Sandra reserved a stay, not in a high-end spa, not in a gems exhibition, on a peaceful island with its freshwater springs and healing environment. Paradise in its purest form, The island was a haven of turquoise waves, palm-fringed paths, and blue skies that seemed hand-painted. Sandra passed her days meditating on the water's edge, writing in her journal, allowing her body and soul to finally breathe. She went wandering one afternoon into a tiny hut on the beach. Within was a local craftswoman whose jewelry was crafted from driftwood, shells, and sea glass. Not showy, not polished, nothing but pure, unadulterated. They talked for hours, of life, of pain, of healing. The artisan gave her a gift of a necklace on the way out, a piece of smooth driftwood on a hemp thread. This, she explained, is a reminder. Beauty is not shine. Beauty is story. The sea molds us, remakes us, and we are something different. Sandra held the necklace in her grasp. Never had a diamond felt this heavy with symbolism. Sandra went back to Houston with a new mindset. She opened up her salon, and business picked up, minus the old compulsion now. Her jewelry was not a trophy case of ego anymore, but a memory shelf, a testament of the past, of who she used to be. She placed the driftwood necklace in pride of place. It was noticed by clients. Sandra began providing quiet hours for women who simply needed a peaceful place. She began publicly speaking on subjects of self-care, earlier screenings, and the quiet burden of seeking perfection. Her narrative of ambition, obsession, suffering, and rejuvenation served as a point of inspiration. And although she still had an affinity for jewelry, her cherished item was not a pearl or a diamond. It was a wound on her foot, a wooden necklet, and the irrefutable realization that life's real treasures are usually those that money can't buy. If Sandra's narrative touched your heart, spend a minute thinking, what are you pursuing? And most importantly, what's already in reach? Subscribe, like, and share. If you think that sometimes the greatest wake-up calls in life come in the most unpredictable packages,